Hello and welcome back to SML Total Access. I'm Primetime Triple Zero, joined by Dan and Matt. What's going on, fellas?
Not much. Ready for this playoffs to get started. Best
Yep.
time of the year.
Playoffs are here, baby. March, our own little March Madness.
Yes, yes, it's my favorite time of the year, and let's get right into it, boys. First down, which playoff matchup are you looking forward to the most? AFC, I'm going to go through this real quick here. You're looking at Noel versus RD, who's actually a computer. RD's going to be on auto. Prime versus Bean, and Matt versus Dump. NFC, we're looking at Bomber and QB, QP and Biz, and Dom and Doink. Matt, we'll start with you.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I think that Null versus RD would be my answer if it wasn't a computer game. Prime, you pretty much own Bean, so I don't know if I mean maybe this is the 1 versus 16, if you will. Maybe this is the big upset, but I don't see it. Me and Dump just fighting to get fed to Dan. So I go to the NFC, and that's where I see everything. And Dom Doink really stands out to me. Obviously, two really good players who I think if you said, hey, these guys can make a run in the NFC, I don't think anyone would disagree on either one of those. But I'm going to go Bomber QB. I've said in chat earlier today, don't sleep on QB.
Wow.
I know he's had a rough season. I know he's the 7 seed, and he's the 7 seed at 7-10, almost
Wow.
unheard of.
Awful.
Awful, but he's in the playoffs, and that's all that matters. That is all. Look, it's all that matters. Look what Monty did. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody saw that coming. So, and now he's kind of regressed back to where he belongs. But with QB, you've got a proven winner, a Simbardi winner multiple time, if I remember right, and
Mhm.
we've got Bomber, who is typically not known for his offense and tends to make the mistakes. And in the playoffs, anything can happen. So give me Bomber QB. I'm ready for that one.
Wow, wow, that's a good game actually. And to your point, Bomber has actually owned QB lately, but Bomber, I think QB is the only guy he's beaten in the playoffs this cycle. So that's going to be a fun game and maybe a good game for Bomber to either get back on track or QB to have a legendary run. Who knows? Dan, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think that's a great matchup. I do think for some reason, and again, we've talked about matchups before. Bomber just to has QB's matchup. So
Yeah, he does.
I think Bomber is going to win that one, but it's going to be fun to watch because like you guys all pointed out, if there's a guy that can pull something out or can play better, it's definitely QB. He's got the talent to do that. The one I'm kind of excited for is Dom Doink. Just because I think anytime Doink is in the playoffs, I think it's must watch entertainment because you just don't know what he's going to do. And this dude has had a bazillion kind of classic playoff games. He seems to play tight games all the time, and yet doesn't come up with the clutch moment. And so I mean, I feel bad for him. It's almost as bad as the Bean Prime narrative. But I want to see Doink, and hey, part of me is rooting for the guy. I'd love for him to kind of break that little narrative, but I'm not sure he's going to do it this playoffs.
Yeah, I'm looking at obviously. I think Dump and Matt's going to be a good game. Two completely different styles. Matt being more calculated, Dump being more just kind of Pandora's box type of player. But I'm looking at QP and Biz, believe it or not. And I know the spread on that game is going to be a big spread. QP's the favorite, and I think QP's going to win that game. But but the
Oh
this
wait, wait? Sorry, did you say I think QP is the favorite?
no, I mean I think he's gonna win the game, and I think the spread's a big one. Like it's like a
Okay, but you're okay. Okay, that's better.
well,
I
he's
thought
gonna
you were like trying to decide who was going to be the
no no
favorite
no
in
no
that
no
game.
he's gonna win.
Okay,
But
okay.
the thing is, the Thanos Club does not like Biz. QP and Biz have gotten into it a few times, and just not so long ago, maybe a few seasons ago, Biz had like a 20-point lead on QP, and he blew it. And there was some words exchanged after. Then um, Biz played fast, super close, and led up a comeback. So I don't know if Biz knows like the Thanos plays and he's gonna come prepared. It's just I think it's gonna be a fun matchup. I think QP is gonna win it, but I just want to watch that one because I know there's drama behind it, if you will.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, yeah, that's good.
you
That's
know,
good. That's good.
with Biz, he's got a top 10 defense. I mean, he's top 10 in everything except for passing yards, where he's 15th. It's his offense that's absolutely terrible. But you can win with a bad offense if you just don't turn it over and you can play good defense. So it'll
Yeah,
be interesting to see if he can
Hey,
keep QP and Davis Mills under wraps.
yeah.
and play. We've seen it before. Playoffs, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Speaking of playoffs, second down here. RD out on auto. He's gonna. It sounds like anyway. He's gonna miss his game against Knoll in round one. Obviously, this is every season. I shouldn't say that. Every cycle, this gets brought up. Typically, RD's not going to be the guy to say anything. He's not going to be the guy to get all emotional and chat about it, about his game getting to be put on auto. But it still sucks for him. And there's a lot of people who do complain about this. Should SML hold advances for playoff games? And Dan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I remember the first time I was in the SML. I think Madden 20, I was the Eagles, and Sunday was the Redskins at the time. And there was a weekend or something where he missed and game got simmed, or NYT got to play the CPU, and I was kind of shocked. I was like, "Wow, they take this serious here." Like this, there's no way, that in some of my other leagues we would have done that. We would have waited, but I think the SML has been consistent. I don't think anyone can sit there and say it's shown someone favoritism or it's done something to benefit somebody when it comes to advances. So I think the SML should stay its course and just be who they are. And you miss the playoffs, you miss the advance time, then you're done.
Yep, totally agree. We all know how the advances in this league work. It's not a secret, even in the regular season. I don't really think we hold advances, even if you're in the middle of your game. Prime will push that button. So I think that's huge because it creates an expectation for everyone. Nobody can say, "Oh, I'm so confused where there's no consistency in this league. I don't really know if we're advancing now or later or what." There's consistency. I also think that you open Pandora's box. If you hold it for this situation, how do you hold it for this other situation? Where do you draw that line? And that could honestly, I think, cause more fighting in chat because someone might get mad that you held it for this person, but not them. Why is their situation more important than mine? It eliminates that headache. Sure, they can be upset all they want, but at the end of the day, it's a 48-hour advance. And I'm sorry if you can't play within that window. It's too bad, so sad. It's nothing against you, just the way it works.
Yeah, and obviously I agree because I've been doing this for 6 years like this. Now, RD, he has not complained. I want to make this clear. He has not complained at all in chat or in private. He's going to take it as is, no big deal. But what I have found is the guys who do try to push that and the guys who are the type to maybe make us want to wait sometimes don't even get the games in anyway. So, and then like Matt said, do we push advance back because work, because someone's kid's sick, because their goldfish died? I mean, I don't know. I'm not God, and I don't want to be the one deciding that stuff. So it's easy for me to say, hey, here's our advance times. This is what they are. Do the best you can to get these games in. So hey, it's unfortunate. Noel's going to be able to get a win. It looks like here, and why we'll press on, and it looks like Noel's going to move on to the second round. So good for him. Moving on now, third down, NFC. QB stud going in there, 7-10. Let me repeat that, 7-10. How bad is the NFC? Is it a fluke? Have they all just beat each other up and they're actually amazing?
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I don't think the NFC is bad because I think your top five guys, Faz, Bomber, QP, Dom, and Doink are all solid players. But holy cow, is there a cliff after that? And I don't even care that Biz is 9-8. That's where the cliff starts.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're looking at if QB doesn't win his last game, which when you're 6-9 or 6-10 going into a game, you can lose. Let's just be simple. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You would have had an 11 loss team potentially in the playoffs. And when you start getting into 11 loss teams, you're looking at Coop, Hawley, Rams. I don't even know if he's played half his games. I mean, you've got guys with 11 losses. Meats, that guy, gosh, I would have counted Meats out forever ago. So yeah, the NFC, once you get past those top guys, it is absolute trash. And I'm saying that with QB being a Simbardi winner, who I just said might be able to pull off an upset. And I feel bad. You look at guys like Fig and Colt, 9-8, 8-8, potentially 9-8 for Colt. Even Monty, we just talked about, at 8-9. Those guys are like the 10th seed in the AFC. They'd be in the playoffs in the NFC. That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how it breaks down. I didn't get a chance to look at divisions, which divisions you have to play. I know in the past, sometimes that mattered if one division had a really hard, schedule and stuff. But it just seems honestly like there's just this thing with the NFC right now where like I look at like someone like Mike, and we mentioned Meats, and these guys. I mean, they've always been better than what they're doing, and just something seems off right now. And I'm not sure if it's going to be fixed by next season. This is going to be an ongoing thing where it's just a real top heavy conference and nobody else, or what. But it's definitely interesting. And to what you guys or what Matt just said, I mean, a 10, 11 loss team in the playoffs that's just wild to me.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff happens. Even for me personally, the SML is kind of ebbs and flows. It's like the stock market, and right now I think people are just down. NFL season's over. Usually there's a recharge in April, right around the draft, and I think a lot of people are kind of some new games have come out. The people are focused on some other things, and the MLB game is coming out sooner. It came out. I'm not 100% sure, Matt. Maybe you can answer to that one, but either way, regardless, I think that the NFC will be back, and I think that the right players got in, other than Paulie. I think Paulie can be a playoff player, and I believe in Paulie. Now, this cycle, I mean, people gave the guy a lot of trash calling him a tanker, but I think he's only made the playoffs once, maybe. So
yeah, he's just not good, is what you're saying.
I think, he almost retired actually before the cycle started back in August. And he said he's got a lot of family stuff going on. And hey, he's an old man. You know that, Dan. So, you know the feeling. So, hey, respect to that, I guess. So, speaking of respecting people, I think it's time for us to spread the love. And Dan, we'll let you spread the love.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool this year, or this season. We got some different guys in the playoffs. I always think that's a good thing for the league. Shows some of its parity. And I want to highlight a guy in the NFC. I think Biz taking the Bears team and making the playoffs. Has a good year. Like Matt mentioned, his defense is playing really well. He made some moves, obviously that big move with Fields the season before, but I think it's kind of worked out for him. And, he's built a nice defense. He's got Chubb. He's got some players there, got a nice secondary. And, hey, hats off, Biz. Good job, man. Way to turn some things around there and get into the playoffs. Good luck to you, man.
Matt?
Yeah, so for me, I'm going to spread the love. Thanks for rejoining the call, Dan. I know you dropped it. This isn't the playoffs. You can stay the whole time. You don't have to leave early. So what I was going to say was
vacation since I'm on a bye week.
Okay. So I'm going to spread the love to Colt. I think we all kind of, myself included, kind of made fun of Colt when he traded all those assets for Trevor Lawrence, thinking, well, who cares, Colt? You've got a quarterback, but is it going to make any difference? You just lost inside stuff, Devin Bush. You lost some really good players. You just threw away really good draft picks with first rounders there. But hey, quietly at 8-8, I just told you he'd be in the playoffs if he was in the NFC. Didn't really have that signature win. He did beat Noel, but I swear to God, I still haven't seen him in the same room, so I think they're the same guy. He beat Noel. He does have a win over the playoff Jaguars. But hey, 8-8, probably going to finish 9-9, 8-9 at worst. Hats off to him for, he got the quarterback, his favorite quarterback in real life, or at least the quarterback of his favorite team in real life, and he's put together a nice little season. I'm happy to see that. He was actually in the playoff hunt for a while.
Yeah, that's good. For me, I'm thinking about two people, and I'm going to start with this person. And I think about the greatest magicians of all time, or illusionist maybe. Chris Angel, the mind freak, Harry Houdini, people like that. And maybe David Copperfield. I don't know. So, and then I think about the best disappearing act that I've ever seen is Monty. I mean, this guy, what he did last season, and then how much he disappeared. I'm just impressed. I mean, this guy could. Yeah, I think he should stop his current day job and go out to LA and become a magician or something. I don't know. But I'm spreading my love to Fig. The guy had a tough end of the season, but what a comeback. What heart, what determination. The guy he's been bad really for a long time. And people like that, it's tough to load up the game and play. I know it is, because you lose, you get blown out, you lose, you get blown out. And why even play Madden? Why even be in this league if you just get killed? And here's Fig now. He was one game away from the playoffs, and he didn't make it. But you know what? He showed grit and determination that a lot of the winners don't show. Even the best of the best. What do the best of the best do when they lose? They whine and they pout. They cry and they blah, blah, blah. They complain. The guys like Fig who show grit and determination, I have respect for. So my love is to Fig. Yeah, you didn't make the playoffs, but you know what? You showed that you got heart and you got determination, and you are the lifeblood of the SML. So,
Yeah, and Fig found an identity too. I mean, he really put that offense in Derrick Henry's hands. Even though he has Hollywood Brown, we know he likes his speedsters. Found an identity. If he can build up that defense a little bit, I don't see any reason he can't be back.
so yeah, that's good. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And now it's time for us to go to the extra point. Matt, what are you thinking?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go top five just because we haven't really had an episode in a while. We've had a lot of things going on in the SML, and we're in the playoffs. So I mean, we gotta talk. We gotta talk teams here. This is where it all counts. And at number five is I'm just gonna start off with the controversy. I went back and forth, Prime Knoll, very unbiased, thing that I was going through here, and I settled on Prime. And I know Prime has one additional loss, but he slaughtered Knoll. I mean, just destroyed him. And the only reason that loss is off, he has that extra loss is he did lose to Two Step. Fantastic player, Two Step is very, very good veteran. But you had your backups in for 3.5 quarters, so I went with Prime. Um, and then number four, I've got QP. He doesn't have like the strong resume schedule wise. He's in the NFC. He's beat up on a lot of those 10, 11 lost teams that we've talked about. I mean, his division is just god awful. Meets Mike and QB. 10 losses is second place in that division. Um, but he's got wins over Dan and he's got wins over Faz. So those are legitimate and you can't discount them. Bomber, the hottest team in the league, 13 wins in a row, including wins over Prime and QP. So that's why he's above QP. 13 wins in a row. I wonder how many people knew that. I actually didn't know that until
I
I
didn't
did the
know that.
research for this. So that's a fantastic. Remember, he started out with I think he had Faz and maybe had Dan. I don't remember, but he started out with a real tough schedule and he really turned things around there. At number two, I've got Dan. I mean, he's one of only two people with two losses. So this is the lowest he could possibly be. Wins over Bomber, Prime, Doink, and RD times two. I don't care what seed RD is or whether he makes the playoffs. He's a good competitor. Those are really good wins.
Matt, too. Matt, you put yourself in there. Come on now.
Yeah, but you always beat me. Those are really good wins. At number
But you're a
one,
good player too, there, Matt. Come on.
okay, and you beat me twice. At number one, I've got Faz. And Faz might have two losses when you log into Neon. He's really only got one. He had that sim loss versus Monty. We all know he would have flooded that dude just like he did in the Super Bowl. So he's technically only got one loss. It was to QP. And hey, you just talked about, Thanos Club and maybe Biz knowing their plays because he plays, I think when QP and Faz play, they know each other's plays because they same YouTube channel or Discord channel, the Thanos Club chat. So, I won't hold that against him too much. But Faz is number one. He's the defending champ. He's got Aaron Rodgers. Until somebody knocks him off, he's got to be at the top.
Dan, what do you think about that?
Played well played. No, I'm liking the little subtle jabs there, Matt. That's you taking your shots. I think that's very fair. I think Faz is the defending champion.
Yep.
Like you said, he's only got one one real loss, and I think until someone knocks him off, he's the favorite. So I think that's a good list, Matt. Good job.
No, I like the list, and I think it's accurate. I'm just excited for SML football to kick off, which is I got word. Playoffs are starting tonight now, which is a Friday night start.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
What's
Exciting.
What's the first game?
I'm not sure. I don't have that information, but hey.
Oh, okay. The advance is tonight, though.
Advances tonight, correct? Yes.
Gotcha.
Now, I will give one hint as we head into the playoffs, and this is what I'll close with, my closing message. All matches burn out. That's my hint. Guys, I'll close with that. Have a great night, and good luck in the playoffs.